Hey folks, how's it going? Welcome to Cemetery Mary, a game in which we like to go to the cemetery, but then our parents get kidnapped by the local serial killer. That's kind of how it was pointed out in the description for the Itch.io page. I know I didn't upload a lot of videos last week. It was my birthday, so I kind of just took some time off. I meant to say something, and then I just completely didn't do that. But I hope you guys are doing well. Sorry so much for the babbling. It's actually pretty early right now. It's about 9:30 a.m. when I'm getting into this. So thank you for joining me, and let's get into it. All right, this game contains themes and depictions: stalking, kidnapping, strong language, mild drugs, alcohol, smoking, blood, murder, flashing images, and potentially loud noises. So there's your discretion. All right, and then I think this game is 2 to 2.5 hours, so this might get chopped up, but we'll see. I've never been to a funeral that I didn't enjoy. That is until very recently. And I wasn't quite sure how to feel. It was a beautiful service, and one they certainly deserved. If only it had come later in their lifetime. And maybe it could have been prevented. If there wasn't a murder in my city. Well, that's what everyone's been saying anyways. The Blackwood Butcher. That's what they call them, at least. It was hard not to overhear the rumors people said about them. I heard they strike at night. I heard they only target one person at a time and don't stop until they're dead. I heard it's a ghost, blindly seeking revenge. I didn't believe in any of that. At least not at first. But my parents did. And because of that, they didn't like me going off to the cemetery alone. Staying until it closed. Walking home by myself in the dark. Even though it was only across the street, these rumors had made them afraid for my safety. Do you really believe they're real? I asked my father. I do, he answered. Are you really worried for me? My mother did not say anything. But that is to be expected. They thought I was a perfect target. But I still don't believe it. Still, they were worried about me. So they sent me off to live with my aunt, uncle, and cousin. They didn't live far. At least not anymore. They moved from their fancy home in gorgeous Helen City to a small little cabin in the woods. I would love to be in a cabin in the woods. I never understood why, but I never really asked about it either. My parents felt I would be safer with them, and I didn't want to leave. But every day I stayed only seemed to stress them out more. So I went, to make them feel better. For the first few weeks, everything was fine. I barely left the house, barely went to town anymore. And when I did, I was always with someone. Taking all precautions to avoid becoming a victim of the butcher. But I still thought it was only a rumor. Even if the number of deaths in our community increased, I never thought that I, or someone I knew, would be a victim. Then, that thing happened. To those two. And for the first time, I was worried. Shortly after that, my own parents disappeared. They weren't in the diner, nor could I contact them. Even the authorities couldn't figure it out. No one had seen them. It was as if they had suddenly vanished. As if they were killed off. I don't like to think about that possibility. Actually, well, there was also that other thing that's happened. Maybe I should have told the authorities about it. Or anyone for that matter. But I was too afraid of what might happen if I did. Oh, text message, your parents are safe. I knew I'd fall asleep if I sat down. Is it raining outside? It wasn't supposed to rain today. The light's on outside. Is Crovane out there? I better go check. Oh, hey, buddy. What are you doing out here? It's raining. You're out here? Where's Aunt and Uncle? Crow and I finished dinner. Come inside. What are you doing out here? It's raining. I can see that it's raining, Mary. You're out here. Where's Aunt and Uncle? Quit it, Mary. How many times do I have to tell you? They went to hell. Huh. You're a cheeky little dude. I finished dinner. Come inside. It's spaghetti. I used your favorite sauce, too. Okay, I'll be in a second. Just let me put this out. All the food is cold. I know I fell asleep after I made it, so that's never been a problem with you before. I made too much. Are you upset with me for what I said earlier? Yeah. Nah, don't worry about it. It was just a slip-up. I probably would have made the same mistake. So don't talk about it anymore, alright? If you say so, then. I'm really sorry, Crow. Mary. What did I just say? We're not talking about it anymore. Okay. Other than that, we didn't say much, and dinner was quiet. I cleaned up most of it, but Croven helped a little bit. After that, he went to go sit in the living room. Once I finished cleaning the kitchen up, I joined him like usual. Normally after dinner, when Croven and I sit together, we do something fun. We play a game on our phones together, or we get a board game or play cards. Talk about our day if something exciting happened. But that's when Aunt and Uncle were still... Croven's been in a pretty bad mood since. It's not as if I can blame him. I want to talk to him, but I don't really know if he's much in the mood to talk. What should I do? I want to attempt a conversation. I just want to see if he'll say anything. He may not. He may tell me to go to hell. Crow, do you want to talk about it? There's nothing to talk about. I still got my old therapist number, you know. That's kind of a weird... Alright. Croven. Ain't there a reason she was your old one? I know. But she was good at that kind of stuff. And I've been thinking that maybe... Shut up, Mary. Just shut up already. Can't I be bitter over it? Why are you trying so hard to rush me into therapy, huh? Thought you knew about this shit better than anyone, but here you are. I'm not gonna stop being upset just because you miss me being all happy smiley and shit. Can't you just stop trying to frickin' talk to me about it? I'll get over it when I get over it. Maybe get your own life and then you'll stop worrying so much over mine. Sorry. I think I ended up making Croven more agitated trying to talk to him. Oh well. Well, I feel like I probably shouldn't bring up a therapist. Because, I mean, if he wants to be bitter about whatever, I guess. I mean, he's not really hurting anyone at the current moment, I don't think. After a few more moments of awkward sitting, I went upstairs and headed to my bedroom. I didn't want to make Croven angrier than I already had. I brushed my teeth and got changed into my pajamas. I stretched out on what would you consider my bed. The room I have in the cabin is nice. It's not like my room back in my actual home. But I've stayed here so long, I've been able to decorate it a bit more to my liking. It's a pleasant room to stay in, even if it's not quite home. Of course, I don't normally sleep right away. I usually read a book or watch a movie on my laptop, or lay awake thinking of every embarrassing thing that's happened in my life. I do the same. But as of recent, I've picked up a different nighttime ritual. One that's nowhere near as pleasant. The text message I had received the days following my parents' disappearance. It was from a number I didn't recognize. Your parents are safe, it had said. I know I should have done something smart. I should have told somebody. But instead, I texted the number back. Oh, there's a skull sitting on the toy chest. I just noticed that. Well, I'm just noticing more about this bedroom. And they responded to me. I've noticed that other than the first message, they usually don't reach out to me. It's me who keeps texting them, hoping to find out what's happening behind all this. Are you still awake? I am awake whenever you want to talk. Are my parents still alright? Yes. I am keeping a careful eye on them. How can I be so sure you even have them? What if you're just trying to prank me? Why would I do that? Because I'm hoping it's a prank. I'm sorry, it isn't a prank. I can promise that it's all real. How did you even get my number? Your parents gave it to me. Why would they do that? Because they care about you. You must be lying to me. My parents wouldn't do something like that. I'm sorry you don't know your parents as well as you think you do. What does that mean? Seriously, you freak me out. I just want my parents back. Please don't drag this out. I just want them back home. You should get some rest. It's late, isn't it? I'll talk to you tomorrow. I don't like to text for too long. Until then, goodbye. Goodbye. They suggest that I get some rest, but how did they expect me to do that? I'd never felt more restless in my life. Even asleep. I knew I wouldn't rest. When I woke up the next morning, Kroven had already left for the day. But that wasn't a surprise. He'd been staying out late and leaving super early ever since the incident. I think being home bothers him. I'm not surprised. Whenever I pass the diner, I too feel like not being there. It's not the same without Mom and Dad, after all. Despite this cabin being out in the middle of the woods, it really isn't all that hard to get back to Blackwood. Outside our cabin is a faint dirt trail. It gets a bit twisty at some parts, but isn't too confusing. It takes about 15 minutes to walk down, but maybe 10 if you're fast. At the end of the trail there's a fence, one with a slight gap in it, and past that fence there's a little community. It isn't big. A few trailers with a few people living all the way out here, far from anything that's, well, anything. But there's a road here and a bus that comes through. It runs through Blackwood. So whenever we need to leave, we take this bus. And then after the end of a short trip, you're in Blackwood. It's the city I grew up in, and I always really loved it. There's a library and the local stores, but my mom's favorite place to be is the Blackwood Cemetery. It's got a lot of trees to read under and the prettiest headstones I've ever seen. There's a mausoleum too, though I've never been inside. Private mausoleum, you know. I don't know who it belongs to. Anyways, I always try to leave flowers when I visit, at least every so often. And I visit a lot. I like to think it helps them, you know? Not feel lonely. And then, after having spent my day in Blackwood, I come back home the same way I left. But I always make sure no one sees the way I came back home. Just in case, you know? Despite the recent events, I too leave the cabin more than ever now. Kroven is really home and I don't like being here alone. I know I'm just being paranoid, but I don't like the thought that maybe the butcher could find me out here all alone. Even if that's the whole reason I'm here in the first place. So I go out a lot now. I feel more comfortable surrounded by lots of people. Despite how things may seem, I always prefer to be around people anyways. That's one reason why I like to go to the cemetery so often. There's always people there, even if they can't see them. What? Even if you can't see them, so... But it's not like an imaginary town, right? After I get out of bed, I made myself a small breakfast and got changed into my favorite outfit. Kroven's gone and the bus I take to town should be arriving any minute now. Where should I go today? The library, the cafe, the cemetery. Let's go to the cemetery. I went to my favorite place, the cemetery. The cemetery is pretty much on the same block as my family's restaurant. Right next to it, in fact. All you have to do is cross the street. It's on the same side of the road. I think my parents chose this location because it's good for business. That's what Mom told me anyways. People are usually hungry after a funeral. That's... yeah, I'm kind of speechless on that one because she's not necessarily wrong. Crying really takes a lot out of you after all. I was always glad to live there because I really love visiting the cemetery. I like to walk down the rows and see who got flowers that day. That's what I do most days. Sometimes I'll pick my own flowers just to leave on graves that look like they've been forgotten about. I'm actually quite known for the cemetery. Some people have even begun using a nickname for me, though I don't know how many of them even know what I look like. When I arrived at the cemetery gates, however, I was surprised to see Kroven standing there with what looked like a new friend. Kroven? Mary. Ugh, did you follow me? Huh? No, I didn't. You know I always come here. Yeah, but that's usually not until later. Why are you here so early? I mean, it's not as if I had anything better to do. Well, do you have to be here right now? Kinda on a date. You're on a date? Alright. Oh, this is a date? That was my exact feelings. I mean, it can be, if you want it to be. I'll think about it. Who's your friend? How was I supposed to know you'd be here? Who's your friend? I like how he gives me the name, but just out of irritation. I'm assuming this is Vasilis. I met him at the arcade. Yo. Sorry, Mary, but can you please go? I really just don't have the energy for this right now. Yeah, okay. Sorry. I didn't mean to intrude. I'll see you later. Later. See you some other life, Mary. I left Croven alone. I didn't want to interrupt his little date or whatever. I especially didn't want to make him more mad at me. However, I wasn't going to let him stop me from going to the cemetery. I continued on past the gates and stepped inside. It seemed emptier than usual. It didn't look like any funerals that were being held today. What would it mean of me to wish there was? Yeah, it probably would be. Forget I said anything like that. It was a really awful thing to say. When nighttime rolled around, I headed back home. I slipped into my pajamas and headed to bed almost immediately. Of course, though, I couldn't sleep right away. I had someone I needed to talk to first. Good evening again. Good evening. May I ask you something? You always do. I think it's weird that this seems like someone kidnapped my parents and I'm just like, hey, can I just talk to you? And they're like, yeah, talk to me, text me whenever you want, and ask me as many questions as you want. How did you know my name was Mary? I've always known. Huh? I've always known what your name is. Did my parents tell you? Have we met before? I want to pretend like my parents probably did tell him or this person. That's how they probably got the number, but I want to know if we've met. If we did, you probably wouldn't remember. If? So we didn't meet. Take the if as a maybe. We may have met before. But would it make any difference if you didn't remember me? It would be as if we were meeting for the first time. That's weird. I'm uncomfortable. Any updates on my parents? They are fine. Will I ever see them again? Yes. Because I'm coming to get you too. I just need more time. Good night, Mary. That was really unsettling. Like, I'm coming to get you. Don't worry. I just need some time. Like, oh, okay. I went to sleep feeling pretty shaken that night. I tried not to think about it. I'm surprised I was able to get any sleep at all. I'm surprised I didn't have any nightmares either. Uncle Cross? What? Oh. I'm assuming this is a flashback. Yeah, Mary? Uncle Cross, can I ask you a question? Sure thing, kiddo. Shoot. How did you lose your eye? Oh, Mary. It's fine, I don't mind. I lost my eye in war. You were in a war, Uncle Cross? I was. I won't get into the specifics of it, but it was important to me that I protect my family in any way I could. Do you miss it? My eyeball? Yeah. You know something? Not as much as I thought I would. I think I would miss you a bunch more. A lot more. The picture in the back, like the one that's sitting on the fireplace, it almost makes him look like those old-timey vampires, like with the gray streaks and... I don't know. After I got out of bed, I made myself a small breakfast and got changed into my favorite outfit. Croven's gone, and the bus I take into town should be arriving any minute now. Where should I go today? Let's go to the cafe this time. I swear, he better not be there. I decided to go to the new cafe that opened up. Planet Dollars is a popular coffee chain, but we've never had one in this town. Well, until now, that is. I've always wanted to go to one, just to try it, you know? Although, I don't actually like coffee. But still, I could at least see what they had, right? When I got to the cafe, it was already packed. I thought since it had already been around for a few weeks, some of the hype surrounding it would have died down. But I guess not, seeing as how noisy and crowded it was. Still, at least it was something different from usual. As I said, I'm not particularly fond of coffee. I'm not either. Like I've said before, I much prefer tea. And since I had a late breakfast anyway, I decided to treat myself with a muffin. A chocolate muffin. Because sweet foods are the best. However, I found myself in a bit of a pinch when I tried to look for some place to sit down. It seemed as though everyone's seats were already taken and I really didn't want to walk and eat at the same time. Luckily though, I was able to find an empty seat. A girl around my age with the most spectacular eyebrows was diligently working on her laptop with an empty seat across from her. I do like the eyebrows, that's pretty wicked. I figured she must be writing an essay for college or something. Coffee shops are popular with people in colleges, or so I hear. Seeing as this was the only seat left, I asked her, "Excuse me, may I sit here?" She didn't verbally answer me. Rather, she glanced over at me, rolled her eyes, and nodded to the empty chair. I tried to look apologetic as I sat. "Thank you." "What are you working on?" I almost want to stay quiet because I feel like I'm just agitating everybody as I go along. No, let's be annoying. "Sorry, can you shut up for a second? I'm trying to concentrate." Yeah, there you go, being annoying again. "Oh, sorry." Stay quiet. She's already irritated with me. Don't then go, "Hey, can I help you with anything?" "You have the most spectacular eyebrows." "Yeah, sure, whatever." "Thanks." "So you're interested in what I'm doing here?" "Well, yeah, I guess. You seem to be very focused after all." "As focused as I can be." "What's your name?" "Me? I'm Mary." "Twyla, nice to meet you. Anyways, I'm working on a report." "A report? Like for school?" "No. Have you noticed something odd going on in town recently?" "Something odd?" "I'm not surprised if you hadn't heard about it. It's like the police are trying to dull suspicions. Or just arrest potential suspects so everyone can feel safe." Oh, are you talking about the killing rumors? The Blackwood Butcher, right?" "Don't say it so loud." "But, yes, how did you know?" "Oh, well, I've been hearing the rumors for a while now. And actually, my aunt and uncle died pretty recently. They were, killed." "Really?" "Uh-huh. That's actually pretty... How did they die?" "Oh, I don't know. No one really told me, but the circumstances were strange. Like they didn't die naturally. There was definitely someone else involved. At least that's what I've been told." "Uh-huh. Interesting. You know, maybe you could help me with this report. And, some other stuff." "Oh? I can?" "Yeah. If you're okay with that, of course." "Oh, sure. Yeah, I guess. I mean, having a killer around is bad, so if I can help, like, raise awareness or something. I mean, like, yes. I'd like to help you." "Thanks." Mary is such a nervous person. This will really put me ahead. I have to go, actually. I'm running late for something. Here, give me your phone number. I'm not entirely sure I'll need your help, but I'd rather have a way to contact you just in case. "Oh, yeah, of course." Twyla and I exchanged phone numbers. After, she packed up her laptop and picked up by a car outside. Come to think of it, I didn't actually see her drink any coffee or order any food. I guess maybe she finished before I got there. I don't know why she chose such a noisy place to work, though. After spending my day looking in some nearby stores, I went home pretty tired. I ate leftovers for dinner and yawned more than once as I got changed into pajamas. I plopped myself onto my bed and pulled out my phone, ready to continue the nightly conversation. "You're there, right?" "Of course I am." "I don't know why I keep contacting you. I guess I'm just afraid if I don't, you'll disappear or something." "It's unlikely." "I know you won't tell me where my parents are, but can you at least tell me why you took them?" "No." "Why not?" "I don't know who could be seeing these messages." "Not showing to anyone. Are you worried about being traced?" I'm not showing him to anyone. You expect me to trust that? You expect me to trust you? Fair point. I really don't see how this works. How am I supposed to trust you aren't someone dangerous if you don't give me any info to go off of? Especially when I haven't heard from my parents. Goodbye, Mary. Sleep well. I felt sick that night as I tried to go to sleep. I tossed and turned so many times, and yet I was still too tired to get up and try something different. I don't remember when, but eventually I was able to fall asleep. I didn't sleep very well, though. I'm not going back out there. What? You saw how they were looking at me. I can't do it. I can't. I'm sorry. Maybe it's better if I don't anymore. Huh. That was interesting. Something happened. So what, does the town think she's a freak or something? After I got out of bed, I made myself a small breakfast and got changed into my favorite outfit. Croven's gone and the bus I take into town should be arriving any minute now. Where should I go today? Let's go to the library. I at least want to visit everywhere once, but I feel like the cemetery is going to be a huge, focal point for me. I decide to go to the library. There's nothing quite like a good book. My favorite kind of books are mysteries. Not necessarily murder mysteries, but mysteries in general. In fact, I kind of prefer it when the mysteries don't involve anyone dying. There's a lot less tension there, you know? But maybe I'm just too soft. I always quite enjoy manga, especially the shoujo kind. I feel almost embarrassed to like them, but I find that they're cute and nice, and I like seeing characters fall in love. Yeah, maybe that's what I'll try to find at the library today. I stepped into the library and began to make my way over to my favorite spot, and tucked away in the corner of the library right by a single window. Sometimes I spend an entire day in that corner just reading. I've even managed to finish entire books without leaving the library. I've looked forward to doing something like that again today, but... oh, someone's in my spot. When I go to my favorite spot, I noticed a man was already sitting there. I was surprised, because usually this library was pretty empty. But this man, he's familiar. I've met him before. Oh, my apologies, did I take your seat? Oh, it's you. Mary. Marianta, yes? That's right. I remember you. From the funeral, right? Indeed. Do you remember my name? Reginald? That's right. It's a pleasure to see you here. I was hoping I'd run into you again one day. Oh? I hope that doesn't come off as weird. You were just such a pleasant person to be around. You really brought life into that funeral. Oh, really? Thank you, I think. So what brings you to the library today? Oh, well, I really didn't have any plans, so I thought I'd just check out a book or something. Likewise. What kind of book were you interested in checking out? Be honest. Lie. Let's lie. Let's go with a mystery novel, because we do like them. I'm here to check out a mystery novel. Don't lie. He already knew. Huh? You're lying. You? I can tell. It's a trick of mine. I can tell when you're lying. You can? Indeedly so. I think that's kind of a nice thing to know for future reference, because I feel like I'm going to be running into him a lot. Don't worry. I promise not to shame you for whatever you're really here to read. You should tell me what you're here for. I'm genuinely interested. Well, okay. I'm actually here looking for little love romantic novels. No. Shoujo manga? What's that? It's like, do you know what manga is? I have an idea, but I can't say I've ever read one myself. Well, it's just like one of those, but it usually centers around the romance between the two main characters. And sometimes they're like friends or rivals. But I really like the comedy ones. I love the expression on her face of like how embarrassed she is to just admit that she likes something. I personally like, murder mysteries and things of that nature. I like a lot of psychology books, actually. Because you get cute jokes mixed into the romance. But sometimes the drama ones are really cute too, and they can get really intense. And, sorry, I'm rambling. I do the same thing. I'm not good at explaining things. No worries. I think you did a good job. Shoujo sounds interesting. Perhaps I'll check one out myself later. I'm trying to be more open to new things after all. Anyways, what are you here to read? Me? I'm reading Manslaughter on the Disorient Locomotive. Oh, I've been meaning to reread that one too. Do you want it then? What? Oh, no, that's okay. Please take your time. Just, if you wouldn't mind, would you tell me when you're done with it? You know, so I can maybe read it after. I'm fine with that. Though I've already gotten pretty far in, and I don't think I'll be finished by today. You have a cell phone, yes? Would it be alright if I have your number? That way I can notify you as soon as I'm finished. And, well, I'd like to try to be friends too, if that's alright. Oh, really? I mean, yeah, of course. Reginald and I exchanged phone numbers. You're just giving your number out to everybody. I was shocked he even remembered me, but I considered meeting him again a pleasant surprise, and one I really appreciate. After our exchange, I pick up a Shelm book from one of the shelves and begin to read in one other spot of the library. I ended up liking it so much I looked for the other books and brought 2 or 3 home with me to read later. After I came home, had dinner, and cleaned up the kitchen, I began my usual nighttime routine. So is Kroven, like, just not part of the story anymore? Like, is he with like, his date? I can't... Facilis? Is that their name? I can't remember. I think that was right. I got changed into pajamas, brushed my teeth, sat on my bed, and texted whoever they are. Hi, it's me again. Are you there? Yes. You're still not going to tell me anything, are you? No. Can I ask you something, even if you won't give me an honest answer anyways? Okay. Are you the Blackwood Butcher? Would I tell you if I was? Good. I mean, that's a fair point, Mary, come on. Are you afraid for their safety? Of course, why wouldn't I be? I see. Should I be afraid for my own safety? Why do you have them? Should I be afraid for my own safety? Who am I to tell you what you should and shouldn't be afraid of? Your fears are your own to judge. You're way too vague. Why did you even contact me to begin with? I thought you'd like to know about your parents. I'm only trying my best to keep you happy. You think I'm happy? Maybe not now, but you will be. I have to go now. Goodbye. Goodbye. After another frustrating and unsettling night of text messages, I got under the covers and tried my best to sleep. It wasn't easy, and I had a lot of difficulty trying. I don't remember exactly when, but eventually I was able to sleep, even if not peacefully. Dad? Yes, sweetheart? Yes? Is something wrong? Mama told me that Uncle Ray died. Did she now? Are we going to see him? No. You don't need to worry about that. I don't? But, listen, Mary. Normally when someone passes, you hold a funeral for them, right? Yeah. The thing about funerals, though, is that they're for people who are worth remembering. Wow. Uncle Ray apparently was not liked. Alright, I woke up late the next morning. I must have been pretty tired after the last few days. I dragged myself out of bed and followed my normal morning routine. Got changed into my favorite outfit, had breakfast, etc. And of course, Kroven was once again nowhere to be seen. However, when I checked my phone that morning, I realized he had sent me a message. To my surprise, there were other messages there as well from my new friends. Who should I read first? I do want to see Kroven because he's kind of been MIA for a couple days, it seems. Hey Mary, I'm sorry. I know I've been acting pretty nasty to you lately. I hope you know I don't mean it. Have you been to the Planet Dollars yet? I'll be heading there for lunch today, maybe at like 12:30. You should come and have lunch with me, my treat. And then I can like formally apologize or whatever. Okay. See what she wants. Mary, it's Twyla. If you're still interested in helping me, I'll be at the library around noon today. It should be quieter there, and there's some books I want to pick up for research purposes. Meet me there if you can, but if not, I'll just call you up another time. Okay, and then Reginald. Good morning, Miss Marianta. I hope you're doing well today. You had asked me about the book the other day, right? Well, I actually finished it quicker than expected. I'd really love to give it to you, but I won't be at the library today. I'm actually going to be at the cemetery. You like that place though, right? You should come see me, then I can pass the book over to you. I'll be there there a quarter afternoon or so. Then maybe after we can grab lunch or something together. I hope that doesn't come off weird. I'd just like some company for my lunch break. Call me back. And then did I get something from an unknown? Nope, just exit the phone. I was messaged by each of them. However, I think I only have time to meet up with one of them today. Where should I go today then? Alright, I'm actually gonna go see my cousin. I know that's probably not a good decision. Twyla, I don't really have any connection with, and I almost don't care. She seemed kind of, bothered by my existence, so I might actually go visit my cousin. But I want to save into the empty slot, and then we'll return. So I'm actually gonna cut it here. I'm gonna leave you guys hanging for a bit. Like I said, I think this game's about 2.5 hours. I don't know how you guys feel about this game so far, but let me know in the comments down below where you think I should go. Right now, I'm actually thinking about going to the cafe to meet up with my cousin and kind of get on his good side. Maybe that will be a good relationship to uphold. I think Twyla's probably gonna call me later, and Reginald, I may meet up with him later. I don't know. But let me know in the comments down below what you think I should do, or what's the general census of how you guys feel on this one if you made it this far. I hope you guys are enjoying this so far. Like most games, it's always going to be kind of slow in the beginning, and then hopefully, there's this big crescendo pickup, but we'll see. So far, I like the story. I like the flashbacks to the parents, between me crying to my mother about not wanting to go back or do this anymore, and then Uncle Ray, apparently my father did not like him, or is under the impression like he's not someone worth remembering, just he's gone, let's just forget he existed kind of thing. So there's a lot going on here, and I kind of want to know who this mystery person is that I keep texting and they keep assuring me my parents are safe and that at some point they're going to come get me. So I don't know, there's a little bit here that I'm like, okay, I kind of want to know who these people are. But like I said before, I hope you're enjoying this. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you are a returning sub to my channel, thank you so much for your support. It really does mean everything, and now I love you for that. And if you are new to my channel and made it this far, thank you so much for hanging out today. I'm glad that you're here, and I hope you'll take a chance and subscribe to my channel because I would love to see your face again. And until next time, guys, please take care of yourselves. Know I love you, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.